I'd like to start off with Major Oliver Baus, who will be our first inductee this morning. I can remember his father in 1983 coming into school to talk to me about a situation with a nephew, and his father was absolutely thrilled because Oliver at this time had gone on into the RCAF for pilot training. And I just, it stuck with me for years and years how thrilled Mr. Baus was about the achievement of his son, and rightfully so. So Oliver is going in under the category of civil service, having served with the Canadian Forces. While a student at King City, Oliver not only maintained excellent grades, he was an Ontario Scholar in grade 13, but he was also active outside the classroom, participating in junior basketball and junior football, and playing 2 years on the school soccer team. And I think this is something you're going to note about these people. They are well-rounded individuals. Upon graduation in 1983, he left home to follow his lifelong dream of becoming a professional pilot. After 2 years at the Florida Institute of Technology in Melbourne, Florida, Oliver became bored with the limited thrust of single-engine propeller planes. In his search for more power, he applied to the process selection and training in the Canadian Armed Forces. In 1988, after a lengthy process of selection, he graduated as a CF-18 pilot and was posted to 416 Tactical Fighter Squadron. I was hoping Oliver would come today and maybe do a flyover before the start of the football game in a CF-18, but I guess that's not going to happen. With a 416, he traveled the world to participate in many military exercises. In December of 1990, he deployed to Doha, Qatar, to participate in Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm. During his time in the Middle East, he flew 28 combat missions over the Arabian Gulf, Kuwait, and Iraq. In 1991, Major Baus graduated from the Fighter Weapons Instructor course, and this is Canada's version of the United States Navy Top Gun School. From 1993 to 96, he flew as an exchange pilot with the German Luftwaffe. During his time in Germany, he flew the ECR Tornado with the 321 Electronic Combat and Recce Squadron in Lager-Lechfeld, which is about 70 kilometers west of Munich. Upon completing his tour in Germany, Oliver proceeded to 3-wing in Bagotville, Quebec. After serving a year as a tactical evaluation officer, he was promoted to the rank of major and took over as the wing exercise evaluation and plans officer. In 1998, he served as a Canadian liaison officer to the Combined Air Operations Center in Vicenza, Italy during Operation Deliberate Force in support of the Allied ground forces in Bosnia. In 2000, he was appointed commander of the CF-18 Weapons System Manager Detachment in Mirabel, Quebec, and there he led a team that oversaw the development and integration of the CF-18 software. Finally, in 2003, Major Baus was sent to the, it's a German term, and I'll forgo trying to pronounce it, but it was their military college in Germany. He was on staff at the College of the German Armed Forces in Hamburg. He is scheduled to remain there until 2005 in preparation for service as a General Staff Officer in Canadian or NATO headquarters. As you can see, we have here a young man that has just absolutely excelled in his profession and is very, very deserving of being inducted into our case of distinction. You'll see some of the material about Oliver. One of them will be a book, a hardcover book, which shows Oliver sitting in the cockpit and his name inscribed, his code name or whatever they call it, alongside on the plane. So, I would like to formally induct Mr. Oliver Baus, Major Oliver Baus, into the case of distinction. Thank you.
Good day, everybody. I have to tell you, it's the first time in my life I do that. Oliver is again a student at his age and his rank in the German Staff Academy, Military Academy. And he sent a message which I will read to you. Principal Mr. Gary Michael, members of the committee, fellow inductees into the KCSS case of distinction, ladies and gentlemen. As Oliver is presently on assignment in Germany, he asked me to stand in for him and to deliver these words. He is extremely honored to have been chosen as an inductee into the KCSS case of distinction, and he regrets not to be able to be among you today, mostly today. He passes his congratulations to the others in the case and feels truly flattered to be associated with such a group of outstanding professionals. My son really does not feel to have accomplished anything extraordinary enough to merit this honor. He believes that if there is anything to learn out of his induction, that it is that as long as you do something you truly love, and it's easy to get up and go to work, it's easy to perform, and your accomplishments will be rewarded. During his almost 20 years of service in the Canadian Forces, he received top-notch training of the state-of-the-art equipment and was employed with great people all over the world. He believes that not everyone is suited for the life in the Canadian Forces, but it was the right choice for him. How does he know what it was right for him? Well, he says that every time he received a paycheck, he could not believe that someone was actually dumb enough to pay him for what he was doing and what he liked so much doing. He feels privileged to have had the chance to realize his dream of becoming a fighter pilot, and it meant hard work, perseverance, and sometimes luck. Often. His advice to anyone standing in front of a choice of post-secondary education is to pursue an education that will lead to the fulfillment of his or her dream. As he found out during his training, motivation is the secret to success, and if the carrot at the end of the stick is the right one, then the rest will fall into place. He thanks the committee for the honor being inducted into the KCSS case of distinction and wishes all of you the best of luck in the future.